All right, folks, so everything is set. We're going to start the assembly. We got the meat here. Going to go in with those peppers, onions, and garlic that I sauteed and cooled off. Then we're going to go in with the 5 eggs. Now, I have 5 cans of tomato sauce, but I'm not going to add 5 cans of tomato sauce to this. I'm going to start with 1.5 cans. The rest are going to be for when it comes time to bake these. And I'll show you that when the time comes. Then we're going to go in with the breadcrumb. This is going to be a texture feel thing, okay? So when you first mix these up, a little bit of salt going to go in. When you're first mixing this, you don't want it to be the perfect texture. You want it to be a little loose because what will happen is those breadcrumbs are going to absorb the moisture from the tomato sauce and the eggs, and they're going to continue to expand and tighten up as it goes. So I'm going to mix this up real fast and I'll be back in a second. All right, folks, so this is about where I want it to be right now. If you can see how it's pulling away and sticking together just barely, it's not firm by any stretch, but it's also not loose and sticky. This is going to sit for about 10 more minutes just to allow that breadcrumb to absorb the moisture. And I'll be back to pan this up and I'll show you with the tomato sauce before we throw it in the oven. See you in a minute. All right, folks, so what I'm doing here is I've got this split, or I'm going to split this into 3 small pans. I've put a little bit of the tomato sauce in the bottom of it. I've made this nice and even in here to try and divide this out into thirds. And all it's going to be is simply taking 1/3 of this. It's nothing fancy, folks. Make sure that it's kind of held together. Drop it in. I'll press this down just a little bit. Now, my mother used to have one of those black roasting pans. They weren't cast iron, but they were like enamel. And it used to burn the crap out of the bottom of these things, and we would fight over that burned part, my brothers and I. I wish I had one of those pans. So let me do this 1 minute. I'm going to finish dividing this out, and then I'll show you before we drop them in the oven. 1 minute. All right, folks, we're getting real close on time. So all we're going to do now is just kind of take a little more tomato sauce over the top. And we're going to put these into a 400-degree oven. They're going to cook for about 1.5 hours, maybe 2 hours. So we're going to get these going and we'll see you for final plate up, okay?